When we talk about kindness, let's set the record straight. Kindness is often confused with weakness. People expect you to be kind all the time. But let me tell you something, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not be kind. Kindness does not mean tolerating disrespect or putting others' comfort above your own growth. We've all been there, right? You want to be liked. You want to be seen as the good person. So you soften the blow. You say the words people want to hear. You stay quiet when you should speak up. But here's the thing, comfort doesn't lead to success. Truth does. The truth might sting, but it's the truth that transforms, that builds character. You can't be kind if it means you're compromising your own truth. It's about setting boundaries. You can't be everything to everyone. The world will take as much as you give, and if you don't set boundaries, it'll drain you. You'll find yourself overextended, worn out, and in the end, people will respect you less, not because you weren't kind enough, but because you weren't strong enough to protect your peace. Now, I'm not saying don't help people, don't love people, but understand this, there's a difference between kindness and enabling. Sometimes the most kind thing you can do for someone is not to hand them what they want, but to challenge them, to show them what they're capable of. That's tough love. That's what shapes people. And that's what shapes you too. Self-respect is the foundation of all of this. If you don't respect yourself, if you're constantly bending to everyone else's needs, then you'll find yourself lost. When you can stand firm in your values, when you know what you stand for, that's when you stop being kind for the sake of it. You start being real. And don't get me wrong, it's not about being cold or distant. It's about being discerning. Not everyone deserves your kindness. You have to know who's worth your time and energy. People will take advantage of your kindness, use it as a way to manipulate you, and keep you in a cycle of dependence. But those who truly care will respect your honesty, even if it stings. Life doesn't care if you're kind. Life will throw every obstacle, every challenge, every tough situation at you, and kindness alone won't get you through. It's your resolve, your determination, your ability to stand up, to fight back, that will carry you. You need to toughen up. Be kind when it's right, but do not mistake kindness for the absence of strength. So don't be kind because it's easy. Be kind because it's the right thing to do when the moment calls for it. And don't apologize for it. But understand that the real power lies in being discerning, in knowing when to step up, when to speak up, and when to walk away. Your time is too valuable to waste on pretending. Life is about action, not appeasing people. So get clear about who you are, what you stand for, and make the decision today to be kind when it's right and to be strong always. Kindness is often misunderstood. In today's world, we've been conditioned to believe that being kind means always saying yes, always putting others first, and always sacrificing our own needs to make someone else feel better. But kindness is much more complex than that. It's not about being a doormat, constantly bending over backward to please everyone, or hiding your true feelings to avoid confrontation. In fact, real kindness often involves doing things that might not feel kind in the moment. It's about being honest, being direct, and sometimes being tough. When we think of kindness, we often think of being soft, gentle, and agreeable. But that's a narrow view. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone is to challenge them, to push them past their comfort zone, or to hold them accountable for their actions. You're not helping anyone by letting them stay stuck in their bad habits or bad mindset. Sometimes the kindest thing you can say is the hardest to hear. It's about caring enough to tell someone what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. And this is where the misunderstanding comes in. People mistake kindness for weakness. They think that if you're kind, you'll always let things slide, you'll always be passive, and you'll never stand up for yourself or for what's right. But kindness isn't passive. It's not about sitting back and letting life happen to you or allowing people to walk all over you. It's about choosing how you respond to situations with empathy, respect, and consideration for others while also being firm in your own beliefs, your own values, and your own boundaries. True kindness doesn't mean avoiding conflict. It means addressing it in a way that respects both your own dignity and the dignity of others. It means having the courage to be honest, even when it's difficult. It means not letting people take advantage of your good nature, because you understand that kindness must be balanced with self-respect. When you constantly give without expecting anything in return, you devalue yourself, and ultimately you devalue the act of kindness itself. Being kind doesn't mean you let people stay in their comfort zones. It means encouraging them to grow, to evolve, and to become the best version of themselves, even if that means making them uncomfortable in the process. Sometimes the greatest act of kindness is helping someone realize their potential, even if it takes tough love to do so. It's not about making them feel good in the moment, but about pushing them to rise above mediocrity. So when I say kindness is often misunderstood, I mean that the world has become so accustomed to seeing kindness as a form of self-sacrifice, as something that always involves going out of your way to make others happy, that we forget what true kindness is. It's not about pleasing people. It's about showing people that you care enough to help them grow. And sometimes that means being tough, being direct, and being honest, because in the end, that's what real kindness is all about. Truth over comfort is a principle that demands courage, integrity, and a willingness to face the discomfort that comes with being honest. We live in a world that often values comfort over all else. We crave ease, safety, and avoiding conflict. And sometimes we compromise our truth to keep the peace or to avoid the hard conversations. But the truth is, comfort doesn't lead to growth. Comfort doesn't challenge you to become better, to push past your limitations, or to truly evolve as a person. Choosing truth over comfort means being willing to stand in your authenticity, no matter how uncomfortable it might make you or others feel. It means not letting fear dictate your actions, but rather embracing the discomfort that comes with telling it like it is, even when the truth stings. We often choose comfort because it feels easier, safer, and less risky. But by doing so, we prevent ourselves and others from experiencing the power of truth. When you settle for comfort, you settle for mediocrity. Being truthful requires vulnerability. It requires you to open up, expose yourself, and sometimes deal with the consequences of being honest. It might mean disappointing people, challenging their beliefs, or confronting situations you'd rather avoid. But when you choose the truth, you are choosing growth. You're choosing the kind of clarity that leads to real progress, whether in relationships, your career, or your personal development. The truth might make people uncomfortable, but the comfort of avoiding it will only lead to stagnation. Think about all the times you've held back the truth to spare someone's feelings or to keep a relationship smooth. It may have seemed easier in the moment, but in the long run, that silence can breed resentment, confusion, and misunderstanding. The truth has a way of surfacing, and when it does, it's often more painful than if it had been addressed up front. So choosing truth over comfort is about understanding that while the truth may be hard to hear or live with, it is the only thing that will ultimately set you free. When you choose truth, you choose authenticity. You choose to live in alignment with your values, your beliefs, and your vision, even when it's inconvenient. You embrace the discomfort of standing up for what you know is right, even when everyone else might be settling for the easy way out. And that's where the power lies, being able to speak and live your truth no matter the consequences, because you understand that comfort is fleeting, but truth lasts. This is not to say that being truthful should be harsh or careless. Truth should always be delivered with respect and care, but it should never be compromised for the sake of someone else's comfort. When you make the decision to prioritize truth over comfort, you're building a life of integrity, authenticity, and true success. And though it might not always feel comfortable in the moment, the rewards are profound clarity, trust, self-respect, and the deep satisfaction of knowing that you've lived authentically. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful acts of self-respect and self-preservation you can engage in. It's the art of saying, this is where I end, and this is where I end, and this is where you begin. And it's an essential practice in maintaining your mental, emotional, and physical well-being. In a world that constantly demands more from you, whether it's from your work, your relationships, or even society at large, setting boundaries allows you to draw a line that protects your energy, your time, and your values. Without boundaries, we are at risk of losing ourselves in the needs and desires of others. We say yes when we want to say no, we overextend ourselves, and we find ourselves in situations that drain us, confuse us, and sometimes even disrespect us. It's easy to fall into the trap of people-pleasing, of believing that we must be available at all times or that our worth is tied to how much we give to others. But the truth is, when you don't set boundaries, you invite imbalance into your life. You allow others to determine your worth, your limits, and ultimately your peace. Setting boundaries isn't about being selfish, it's about being self-aware. It's about recognizing that you have the right to protect your energy, to prioritize your well-being, and to say no without feeling guilty. Boundaries are an expression of self-love and self-respect. They allow you to be fully present for the people and the things that truly matter to you without feeling exhausted, resentful, or depleted. They give you the space you need to focus on your goals, your personal growth, and your mental clarity. One of the hardest parts of setting boundaries is the fear of disappointing others. We worry that if we say no, or if we assert our needs, people will reject us, judge us, or even walk away. But the truth is, the right people will respect your boundaries because they understand that it's a reflection of how you value yourself. In fact, healthy boundaries often lead to stronger, more authentic relationships. People who respect your boundaries are the ones who truly care about you, and they'll support you in your pursuit of peace and personal fulfillment. Boundaries also mean recognizing what you will and will not tolerate. It's about standing firm in the face of disrespect, manipulation, or toxic behavior. When you set boundaries, you are not only protecting yourself from external forces, but also from your own tendencies to overcommit, overwork, or over-explain. It's about being clear with yourself and others about what is acceptable and what is not. This can apply to your time, your emotions, your resources, or your energy, everything that makes up your personal space. Setting boundaries requires a level of maturity and emotional intelligence. It's about understanding your limits before someone else pushes them. It's about being proactive rather than reactive. You don't wait until you're burned out, overwhelmed, or resentful to establish boundaries. You set them from the beginning with a full understanding that they are there to create balance and respect in all areas of your life. Whether it's in your personal relationships, your work environment, or your social obligations, boundaries allow you to navigate life on your own terms. And here's the kicker: setting boundaries means you also have to respect the boundaries of others. It's not just about drawing lines for yourself, it's about acknowledging that other people have their own needs, limits, and space to protect. True mutual respect thrives in an environment where boundaries are not only set but honored by everyone involved. When you respect others' boundaries, you cultivate an atmosphere of trust, understanding, and reciprocity. The beauty of setting boundaries is that it allows you to show up in the world as your best self. You're not spreading yourself too thin. You're not giving from an empty cup. You're able to give the best of you because you've taken the time to nurture and protect yourself first. When you can set clear, healthy boundaries, you begin to reclaim your power. You step into your truth and your strength, knowing that you are worthy of the time, the respect, and the space you need to thrive. So, don't be afraid to set boundaries. Don't be afraid to say no when you need to. Don't be afraid to prioritize your peace over the comfort of others. Because when you set boundaries, you're not just protecting yourself, you're teaching the world how to treat you. And you're laying the foundation for a life built on respect, balance, and authenticity. Self-respect comes first. It is the cornerstone of everything you do, the foundation upon which you build your life, your relationships, and your future. Without self-respect, nothing else truly matters. It is the internal compass that guides your decisions, defines your boundaries, and shapes how you interact with the world around you. When you respect yourself, you understand your worth, your value, and your non-negotiables. You no longer tolerate disrespect or settle for less than what you deserve because you have a deep understanding that you are worthy of the very best life has to offer. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in trying to please others, in trying to meet external expectations, and in seeking validation from the people around us. We may end up compromising our values, our integrity, or our needs in order to fit in or to avoid confrontation. But the truth is, when you lose sight of your own self-respect in favor of other people's approval, you are essentially abandoning your own well-being. You begin to live a life that's not truly yours, but one that's shaped by external forces, and that's a life filled with compromise and self-doubt. Self-respect means understanding that you don't have to prove your worth to anyone. It's not about being perfect or having it all together. It's about honoring who you are and knowing that you are enough just as you are. It means standing firm in your beliefs even when they are unpopular. It means speaking your truth even when it's difficult. It means being unapologetic about your needs, your values, and your boundaries, and not feeling guilty about prioritizing yourself. Self-respect is the internal strength that helps you navigate the world with confidence, knowing that your worth is inherent and not something that needs to be earned. When you practice self-respect, you stop tolerating toxic relationships and situations that drain you. You stop accepting excuses from others when they fail to meet your standards or treat you poorly. You stop apologizing for being yourself, for standing up for your values, or for pursuing your dreams. You become your own biggest advocate because you know that no one else is going to protect your peace and well-being like you can. When you honor your own self-respect, you elevate the quality of everything around you. Self-respect is also about being kind to yourself. It's about taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical health. It's about recognizing that you deserve rest, you deserve joy, and you deserve to live a life that's in alignment with your deepest desires. It's easy to neglect your needs in favor of meeting the needs of others, but that's not self-respect. True self-respect involves creating space for your own happiness, setting aside time for self-care, and ensuring that your own needs are met before you pour into others. Furthermore, self-respect doesn't mean you become arrogant or self-centered. It doesn't mean you disregard the needs or feelings of others. Instead, it's about finding balance. It's about recognizing that you can be compassionate and caring toward others while still holding space for yourself. When you respect yourself, you have the ability to give from a place of abundance, not from a place of depletion. You are clear on your values, your limits, and your boundaries, and you communicate them with confidence and clarity. Self-respect also means embracing your mistakes and flaws with grace. It means understanding that you're not perfect, and that's okay. You acknowledge your imperfections, learn from them, and grow. You don't beat yourself up for being human, but rather you accept yourself fully without judgment. Self-respect requires self-compassion, the ability to treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer to a close friend. When you respect yourself, you don't let shame or guilt hold you back. Instead, you rise above them, knowing that your worth is not defined by your past mistakes. And here's the thing, self-respect sets the tone for how others treat you. When you value yourself, others will begin to recognize your worth as well. People treat you the way you allow them to treat you, and when you demonstrate self-respect, you create an environment where respect is the standard. People won't walk all over you because they see that you value yourself too much to tolerate anything less than the best. Self-respect empowers you to demand respect, set boundaries, and refuse to settle for less than you deserve. Ultimately, self-respect is a commitment to honoring your own worth, regardless of external opinions or circumstances. It's about choosing yourself, your peace, your happiness, and your well-being above all else. When you make self-respect your priority, everything in your life falls into place. You become clear on what you want, you make better choices, and you create a life that is truly fulfilling. Because when you respect yourself, you open the door to endless possibilities and the life you've always dreamed of. The importance of tough love lies in its ability to foster growth, resilience, and long-term success. It's not always the easiest approach, but it's often the most effective. Tough love is rooted in the idea that true care for someone doesn't mean shielding them from hardship or making things comfortable all the time. In fact, it often means providing guidance that challenges them, forces them to confront their weaknesses, and pushes them outside their comfort zones. Tough love is not about cruelty or harshness, but about offering honesty, accountability, and support, even when it's difficult. In a world that often values comfort, ease, and immediate gratification, tough love is a reminder that growth rarely happens in the absence of struggle. Tough love helps break the cycle of enabling behavior, where people get stuck in patterns that keep them from realizing their potential. When we give people what they want instead of what they need, we do them a disservice. They may get temporary relief or a sense of comfort, but they will not develop the skills, strength, or mindset to overcome future challenges. Tough love is about setting boundaries and holding people accountable. It's the parent who says no to the child who wants to quit after facing difficulty, the mentor who tells the truth even when it's hard to hear, or the friend who won't let another friend continue to make destructive decisions, even though it might strain the relationship. Tough love requires you to be honest and clear about what is best for the other person, even when it's uncomfortable. It's about helping others see their potential, even if they can't see it themselves, and giving them the tools they need to rise to the occasion. One of the most important aspects of tough love is that it teaches personal responsibility. When someone is consistently shielded from consequences, they fail to learn the importance of their actions and decisions. Tough love forces individuals to take ownership of their choices and the outcomes that come with them. It's the difference between letting someone off the hook every time they make a mistake and holding them accountable, so they understand the impact of their actions and are motivated to do better next time. Tough love also builds resilience. It's easy to feel discouraged or defeated when life gets hard, and many people will look for ways to avoid discomfort, whether that's through distractions, denial, or self-sabotage. But the reality is that life is full of challenges, and avoiding them doesn't lead to growth. Tough love teaches individuals to face adversity head-on, to pick themselves up after failure, and to keep pushing forward. It's about learning to handle the tough situations with strength, determination, and a belief in one's ability to persevere. At its core, tough love is about balance. It's not about being cold, indifferent, or punitive. It's about offering a blend of honesty, guidance, and support in a way that encourages growth. It's about providing someone with the opportunity to learn and evolve through their own experiences, while still being there to offer support when necessary. Tough love isn't about being right or trying to prove a point. It's about showing someone that they are capable of more than they think, and that you believe in their potential, even if it means they have to struggle a little along the way. While tough love can be uncomfortable, its long-term benefits are undeniable. It teaches self-discipline, resilience, and accountability, which are all essential components of success. It helps people develop the mental toughness needed to navigate life's challenges and equips them with the confidence to face future obstacles head-on. It also helps foster a sense of independence, as individuals who have experienced tough love are often better able to think critically, solve problems, and make decisions on their own. Sometimes tough love can create tension or temporary distance in relationships. The person receiving tough love may not appreciate it in the moment, but with time, they will often come to recognize its value. They may feel frustrated or upset at first, but eventually they will understand that the tough love came from a place of genuine care and a desire for their success. It's through this process that they often grow the most. Tough love is a tool for personal transformation. It pushes people to see their flaws, to confront their fears, and to push beyond their limitations. It's about showing them that they have the power to change, to evolve, and to become the best version of themselves. While comfort and ease may feel good in the moment, it's the challenges, the struggles, and the tough love that truly shape who we are and what we are capable of. In the end, tough love is essential because it offers something that is far more valuable than temporary comfort. It offers long-lasting growth, self-sufficiency, and the tools necessary to build a life that is meaningful and fulfilled. It's not always easy to give or to receive, but when done with care and intention, tough love can be the most loving thing you can do for someone. It's the kind of love that doesn't just help them today, but helps them for the rest of their lives. Protecting your peace is one of the most powerful and necessary actions you can take in your life. In a world that constantly demands your attention, time, and energy, learning to safeguard your inner tranquility is not just important, it's essential. Your peace is the foundation of your well-being, your clarity, and your ability to function at your best. Without it, you are vulnerable to the chaos, negativity, and distractions that can derail your progress and rob you of your happiness. Protecting your peace means creating boundaries, practicing mindfulness, and making intentional choices that preserve your mental, emotional, and spiritual health. At its core, protecting your peace means taking control of what enters your mind, your heart, and your life. The world is full of negativity, news cycles that bring fear, toxic relationships that drain your energy, and situations that test your patience. If you are constantly absorbing this negativity, it becomes increasingly difficult to maintain a sense of calm and balance. When you protect your peace, you are choosing to limit your exposure to things that disrupt your tranquility and prioritizing your emotional health over external chaos. You are saying, I value my peace more than I value the drama, the distractions, or the opinions of others. One of the most important steps in protecting your peace is setting boundaries. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you, but rather guidelines that help define what is acceptable in your life and what isn't. They are about knowing what you will tolerate and what you won't, and about communicating those limits clearly to others. Boundaries could be as simple as choosing not to engage in negative conversations, limiting your time with people who drain you, or refusing to take on more responsibilities than you can handle. By establishing clear boundaries, you create space for peace to thrive. Without them, you risk being overwhelmed by others' demands, negativity, or toxicity. Protecting your peace also means learning to say no. Saying no is a powerful act of self-respect. It is a way of honoring your time, your energy, and your well-being. Too often, we say yes to things out of obligation, fear of disappointing others, or a desire to please. But each time we say yes to something that doesn't align with our peace or our priorities, we are sacrificing a piece of ourselves. Saying no is not about being rude or selfish. It's about recognizing that your time and energy are valuable, and you must guard them fiercely. By saying no to what doesn't serve you, you create the space to say yes to what brings you joy, peace, and fulfillment. Another key aspect of protecting your peace is being mindful of the people you surround yourself with. The energy of the people around you has a profound impact on your mental and emotional state. If you spend time with people who are constantly negative, drama-filled, or unsupportive, their energy will inevitably affect you. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with individuals who uplift, support, and encourage you, you are more likely to feel grounded, positive, and at peace. Protecting your peace means choosing your circle wisely and understanding that not everyone in your life is meant to stay there. It's okay to outgrow relationships that no longer contribute to your well-being. Self-care is another crucial element of protecting your peace. Taking care of your mind, body, and spirit is not selfish, it's necessary. Self-care is about intentionally creating time to rest, recharge, and nourish yourself. Whether it's through exercise, meditation, reading, or spending time with loved ones, self-care helps you restore balance and maintain your inner peace. In a society that often glorifies busyness, it's important to remember that rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Without adequate rest and relaxation, you will burn out and your peace will be compromised. Make self-care a priority in your life, not as an afterthought, but as an essential part of maintaining your overall well-being. Another aspect of protecting your peace is learning to let go of things you cannot control. So much of the stress we experience comes from trying to manage situations, outcomes, or people that are beyond our control. We worry about the future, ruminate on the past, and exhaust ourselves with what-ifs. But the truth is, there is very little in life that we can control, and trying to control everything only leads to frustration and anxiety. Protecting your peace means accepting that not everything is in your hands, and learning to release the need to control the uncontrollable. It's about focusing on what you can change and letting go of the rest. Forgiveness is another powerful tool for protecting your peace. Holding on to grudges, anger, or resentment takes up precious mental and emotional space. It keeps you stuck in the past and prevents you from moving forward. Forgiving others doesn't mean excusing their behavior, but it means freeing yourself from the burden of carrying that anger and pain. It's about releasing the hold that negative emotions have over you and choosing peace over bitterness. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, not the other person. Finally, protecting your peace means taking responsibility for your own emotional state. While you cannot control the actions of others or the events that unfold in your life, you can control how you respond to them. It's easy to let external circumstances dictate your emotions, but true peace comes from within. It's about taking ownership of your reactions, staying calm in the face of adversity, and choosing peace over frustration or anxiety. When you take charge of your emotional responses, you empower yourself to maintain your peace, no matter what's going on around you. In the end, protecting your peace is a constant, intentional practice. It requires you to be mindful, proactive, and self-aware. It's about understanding your worth, setting boundaries, practicing self-care, and letting go of what doesn't serve you. Life will continue to present challenges, but when you make protecting your peace a priority, you equip yourself with the strength and clarity to navigate any storm with calm and confidence. Protecting your peace isn't just about avoiding discomfort. It's about choosing to live a life that aligns with your true self, where you are free from the chaos and negativity that threaten your inner harmony. Your peace is your greatest asset. Treat it as such, and guard it with everything you've got. Actions over words is a principle that speaks to the core of integrity, credibility, and true character. In a world full of promises, speeches, and declarations, it's easy for words to lose their meaning. People say things all the time, whether it's to reassure, persuade, or express good intentions, but it's the actions that follow that truly determine the authenticity of their words. Words may sound good, but actions reveal the truth. Words can be empty or exaggerated, but actions are the tangible proof of one's intentions, values, and beliefs. When we place more value on actions than words, we focus on the things that actually matter. Anyone can talk about their goals, their dreams, or their principles, but it's the choices they make and the steps they take that show whether they truly mean it. For example, someone might say they value family, but if their actions don't reflect that, if they're rarely present, fail to make time for their loved ones, or take them for granted, then their words lose their weight. The same applies to anything in life: success, kindness, commitment, or integrity. What you do speaks far louder than what you say. Words can be used to manipulate, to impress, or to hide the truth, but actions are harder to fake. Actions are the real measure of a person's character. When someone demonstrates their values through their behavior, they earn respect. They show others that they are trustworthy, dependable, and consistent. Trust is built through actions over time. If someone consistently follows through on their promises, if they show up when it matters, if they work hard to make a difference, these are the actions that build trust, not just their verbal declarations. In relationships, the importance of actions over words cannot be overstated. It's easy for people to say, "I love you" or "I care about you," but true love and care are shown through consistent actions. It's in the small things: listening attentively, offering help when needed, being present in times of need, supporting each other's growth, and showing respect. Love is not just a word, it's a practice. And that practice is demonstrated through action. Words can promise anything, but actions keep those promises alive. Moreover, in the professional world, actions over words are crucial for success. Words alone won't build a career, a business, or a reputation. It's the hard work, dedication, and ability to deliver results that speak volumes. People respect those who show up and do the work, who prove their abilities through consistent effort, not just by talking about what they can do. Leadership is not about grand speeches, it's about demonstrating integrity, showing respect for others, making tough decisions, and leading by example. The concept of actions over words also applies to personal development. It's easy to talk about becoming a better version of yourself, but it's your actions that truly make the difference. Every decision you make, every effort you put into improving your skills, and every challenge you overcome contributes to your growth. Your words might inspire you, but it's your actions that transform your life. If you want to improve your health, it's not enough to talk about it. You must take the necessary steps, exercise, eat well, get enough rest. If you want to build wealth, it's not enough to talk about saving or investing. You have to act on those principles. One of the biggest lessons in life is that talk is cheap, but real change, progress, and impact happen through consistent action. It's easy to get caught up in discussions, debates, or intellectualizing ideas, but nothing truly moves forward until action is taken. Words can create excitement or anticipation, but they alone do not drive results. Action is what pushes you closer to your goals, builds momentum, and gets you where you need to go. Another critical aspect of valuing actions over words is that actions help avoid misunderstandings and misinterpretations. Words can be misheard or misinterpreted, but actions are much clearer. When someone acts in a certain way, there's little ambiguity in what they mean. Actions clarify intentions and give a clearer picture of what's really going on. They create a language that transcends words and communicates truth directly. In essence, words have their place. They can inspire, educate, and convey ideas, but it's the actions that define who we are, what we stand for, and what we're capable of. Words can be temporary, but actions leave lasting impressions. They are what create lasting change and leave a legacy. If you want to build trust, establish credibility, and prove your character, it's not enough to speak about it. You must live it through your actions. Actions over words is about alignment. It's about ensuring that what you say matches what you do, that your intentions align with your behavior, and that your promises are kept through consistent effort. In the end, it's your actions that create the life you want, the relationships you seek, and the success you aim for. So stop talking about what you're going to do, start doing it. Let your actions be your statement. Respect and kindness are two fundamental qualities that shape our interactions with others and define the quality of our relationships. While they are often used interchangeably, they are distinct concepts, each playing a vital role in how we relate to others and how we maintain our personal integrity. Respect and kindness might overlap in certain situations, but understanding their differences can provide deeper insights into how to engage with others in a way that is both empowering and authentic. Respect is rooted in acknowledging the inherent value and dignity of another person. It's the recognition of their worth regardless of their status, actions, or opinions. Respect is about treating people with fairness, understanding, and consideration, recognizing their rights and their space. It doesn't require agreement or even affection, but it does require honoring the boundaries, beliefs, and individuality of others. To respect someone is to see them as equals, to recognize their humanity, and to treat them in a manner that acknowledges their uniqueness. Kindness, on the other hand, is rooted in compassion, empathy, and generosity. It's the act of being considerate and caring toward others, often without expecting anything in return. Kindness is an expression of goodwill, offering support, help, or understanding in a way that uplifts the other person. It's not just about actions, but also about the attitude you adopt, showing care and concern for others, often in small, thoughtful ways that can make a huge difference. Kindness can be a response to someone's needs or a gesture that brightens their day. The key difference between the two lies in their nature. Respect is often more passive. It's about allowing others to exist as they are, without judgment or interference. It's about setting boundaries and ensuring that others have the space to be themselves. Kindness, on the other hand, is more active. It's about going out of your way to make someone's life a little better, whether that's through a smile, a gesture of help, or simply listening with empathy. While respect focuses on the rights and dignity of the individual, kindness involves taking an extra step to improve their emotional or physical well-being. Respect is often seen as a foundational principle, a baseline of how we should treat others in any setting. Without respect, there's no foundation for healthy relationships, as it leads to disregard for boundaries, violation of personal space, and an overall sense of entitlement or dominance. Kindness, however, can be an additional layer of connection, something that builds on respect and makes human interactions more warm and compassionate. You can be respectful without being overtly kind, especially in situations where kindness might not be appropriate or necessary. For example, when dealing with difficult people or maintaining professional boundaries, respect is crucial, but kindness might not always be feasible or even helpful. However, kindness without respect can be problematic. If we are kind without respecting boundaries, we may unintentionally enable bad behavior, create unhealthy dependencies, or give people the wrong impression about what is acceptable. For example, offering kindness in the form of excessive praise to someone who isn't contributing can enable mediocrity and set them up for failure in the long run. It's important to remember that kindness should not be given at the expense of personal boundaries, self-respect, or the integrity of a relationship. When both respect and kindness are combined, they create a harmonious dynamic. Respect allows us to see others as equals and treat them with fairness, while kindness enriches these interactions by adding warmth, understanding, and care. Together, they lay the foundation for meaningful, supportive, and balanced relationships. For instance, respecting someone's opinion, even if you don't agree with it, and then offering kindness by listening actively or offering constructive feedback shows both respect and kindness. It's a balance of valuing the person's right to their perspective while still supporting their growth and well-being. In practical terms, respecting someone means understanding their limits, needs, and individuality, while kindness is the act of responding with compassion to those needs. For example, in a workplace, respect might look like recognizing your colleagues' time and boundaries, keeping meetings within scheduled hours, or not overloading them with tasks. Kindness in that same environment could look like offering to help when you know they're overwhelmed, or acknowledging their hard work with a thoughtful gesture. The key is that respect lays the groundwork for how we interact with others, and kindness enhances that interaction by adding an extra layer of empathy and support. Respect also plays a significant role in self-worth. You cannot truly respect others if you don't first respect yourself. Self-respect is the foundation for all other forms of respect. When you respect yourself, you are less likely to tolerate behaviors that are harmful to you or others. You will set healthy boundaries and avoid situations that compromise your dignity. Likewise, kindness to yourself is also essential. It involves taking care of your mental, emotional, and physical well-being, recognizing your own needs, and ensuring you treat yourself with the same level of care and compassion you would show others. The balance between respecting yourself and being kind to yourself creates a foundation for positive interactions with others. Because when you respect and care for yourself, it's easier to extend that same respect and kindness outward. Ultimately, while respect and kindness are separate, they are both necessary for healthy relationships. Without respect, relationships may lack trust and understanding, while without kindness, relationships may lack warmth and genuine connection. Both qualities work together to create a dynamic that allows individuals to coexist, collaborate, and thrive in a way that benefits everyone involved. When we understand the difference in the relationship between respect and kindness, we can apply them more effectively in all areas of our lives, creating stronger, more meaningful connections with others and fostering a positive environment where everyone feels valued and cared for. Toughness in the face of adversity is not about being immune to difficulties or emotions. It's not about denying the struggles or pretending that everything is fine when it's not. True toughness is found in the ability to confront challenges head-on, to rise above adversity, and to persist even when the odds are stacked against you. It's about remaining resilient in the face of hardship, maintaining your composure in difficult moments, and using obstacles as opportunities to grow stronger, more focused, and more determined. Adversity is a natural part of life. Whether it comes in the form of personal loss, career setbacks, financial difficulties, or the unexpected challenges that life throws our way, adversity is something everyone faces. It can feel overwhelming and discouraging at times, and it may seem like the world is closing in around you. But true toughness is not about avoiding adversity, it's about how you respond when it comes. The first key element of toughness in adversity is mental strength. It's the ability to control your thoughts and emotions, even when everything around you seems to be falling apart. It's about choosing to focus on solutions, not problems. In times of adversity, it's easy to get consumed by negative thinking or to allow fear and doubt to take over. However, mental toughness allows you to keep your mind focused on what's within your control, to stay positive, and to refuse to give up. This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending that things are easy. It means acknowledging the difficulty while still choosing to push forward. Resilience is another vital component of toughness. Resilience is the ability to bounce back after hardship, to recover from setbacks, and to keep going even when things don't go according to plan. Life's challenges often involve moments of failure, mistakes, or moments when things don't turn out the way you expect. But resilient individuals understand that failure is not the end, it's simply a stepping stone to growth and success. They see challenges as temporary, not permanent, and they don't let setbacks define them. They keep moving forward with the knowledge that resilience is built through experience, learning, and adapting. Courage is also central to toughness in the face of adversity. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to move forward despite fear. It's easy to freeze in the face of difficulty, to avoid taking risks or facing challenges head-on because of the fear of failure or the fear of the unknown. But true toughness is found in the ability to take that first step, to confront the fear, and to keep going despite it. Courage isn't just about big, dramatic moments. It's in the daily decisions to keep fighting, to keep pushing, and to keep believing that things can improve. It's the quiet resolve to show up, even when you don't feel like it. Toughness in adversity also involves emotional control. During tough times, it's natural to feel frustrated, angry, or overwhelmed. But emotional toughness is about maintaining a sense of balance and not letting emotions dictate your actions. It's about staying calm and composed, even in the midst of chaos. Emotional toughness allows you to respond to situations thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. It means making decisions from a place of clarity and rationality rather than being swayed by panic or stress. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions, it means acknowledging them and choosing how to respond in a way that serves your best interests. Another crucial aspect of toughness is persistence. The road to overcoming adversity is rarely smooth. Success is not always immediate, and solutions to problems are often hard to come by. But toughness is demonstrated in the refusal to quit. It's in the determination to keep going, even when progress seems slow or impossible. Persistence is about understanding that setbacks are a part of the journey, and that success often comes to those who are willing to stay the course, no matter how long it takes. It's about being patient, working through the struggles, and trusting that your efforts will eventually pay off. Toughness also requires an unwavering sense of purpose. When facing adversity, it can be easy to lose sight of your goals or to become discouraged by the magnitude of the challenge. But having a clear sense of why you're pushing through the tough times gives you the motivation to keep going. Purpose fuels resilience and keeps you grounded in the face of difficulty. It reminds you that the struggle is temporary and that the rewards of overcoming adversity will be worth the effort. A strong sense of purpose helps you stay focused and connected to your deeper values, even when things feel difficult. Importantly, toughness in the face of adversity is not about doing everything on your own. It's about knowing when to ask for help, when to lean on others, and when to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Sometimes the toughest thing you can do is to admit that you don't have all the answers or that you need support. Being tough doesn't mean you have to shoulder everything alone. It means recognizing that strength can be found in community and collaboration, and that seeking help is not a weakness, but a wise and strategic choice. Lastly, toughness in adversity requires self-belief. When the world seems to be against you, it's easy to question your own abilities and doubt whether you'll ever overcome the challenge. But inner strength comes from a deep-seated belief in yourself, knowing that you have the capacity to handle whatever comes your way. Self-belief is the foundation for resilience and persistence. It's the belief that no matter how many times you fall, you can rise again and keep moving forward. In the face of adversity, toughness isn't about being unbreakable or invincible. It's about being resilient, focused, and courageous. It's about facing challenges with a mindset that refuses to be defeated and using every setback as an opportunity to learn, grow, and improve. Toughness is not a trait that you're born with. It's something that you develop, something that gets stronger the more you face challenges and push through difficulties. The ability to stand strong in the face of adversity will not only help you overcome the tough times, but will also shape you into a stronger, more capable person who can handle whatever life throws your way. The power of discernment is a subtle yet profound ability to make sound judgments, to perceive what is true, right, and essential, even when things are not immediately clear. It goes beyond mere intelligence or common sense. It is the capacity to recognize underlying truths, to read between the lines, and to see the deeper meaning in situations, people, and circumstances. Discernment is not simply about making decisions. It's about making wise and informed choices, ones that align with your values, purpose, and long-term goals. It's the ability to separate the noise from the signal and to trust your inner wisdom to guide you in the right direction. At its core, discernment is about developing the skill to differentiate between what serves you and what does not, what is beneficial and what is harmful, and what aligns with your authentic self versus what leads you astray. It involves a deep level of awareness and insight that allows you to navigate life's complexities with clarity and confidence. When you have discernment, you are better equipped to handle the uncertainties and challenges that life throws at you. You can make decisions that are not just logical, but also aligned with your higher purpose and true desires. One of the key aspects of discernment is the ability to perceive what is hidden beneath the surface. In a world where appearances often deceive, discernment enables you to see past surface-level impressions and to recognize the truth of a situation. People, for example, may present themselves in one way, but through discernment, you can sense their true intentions, character, and motives. This is especially important in relationships, both personal and professional, where the ability to read between the lines can help you build healthier, more trusting connections and avoid toxic situations. Discernment also involves being able to trust your instincts and intuition. It's about listening to that inner voice, the quiet whisper that speaks to you when faced with decisions. Often, our intuition can be a powerful guide, alerting us to opportunities or risks that our rational minds might overlook. But for this to happen, we must cultivate the ability to listen to and trust our inner wisdom. In a world full of distractions and outside influences, discernment helps us tune out the noise and focus on what feels right for us in the moment. It's the ability to differentiate between external pressures or desires and your own internal compass, ensuring that the choices you make come from a place of authenticity. Moreover, discernment is vital when it comes to setting boundaries. Knowing what you will and will not tolerate requires a sharp sense of judgment. People may ask more of you than you are willing or able to give, and it's up to you to discern when to say yes and when to say no. Without discernment, it's easy to fall into patterns of overcommitting, neglecting your needs, or allowing others to take advantage of your time and energy. Discernment empowers you to establish healthy boundaries that protect your well-being while allowing you to still be compassionate and generous when necessary. In decision-making, discernment plays a pivotal role. Life is full of choices. Some are straightforward, but many are complex and layered with consequences that are not immediately visible. Discernment helps you sift through the options and choose the path that is most in alignment with your long-term vision, values, and goals. It's not about choosing what's easiest or most comfortable, but about making decisions that ultimately lead to your growth and fulfillment. This can involve making tough choices, such as walking away from a relationship or career that no longer serves you, or choosing the path of discipline and sacrifice over immediate gratification. Discernment helps you see beyond the short term and understand the long-term impact of your decisions. Another key aspect of discernment is the ability to understand timing. Some decisions need to be made quickly, while others require patience and careful reflection. Discernment allows you to sense when it's time to act and when it's best to wait. It's about understanding the flow of life and recognizing that not every opportunity is meant for you, and not every moment is the right moment. Knowing when to act and when to step back can be the difference between success and failure, growth and stagnation. Discernment helps you make those timing decisions with wisdom. In addition, discernment is essential in the pursuit of truth. In a world filled with misinformation and conflicting opinions, it's easy to be misled or confused. Discernment allows you to cut through the noise and seek the truth, to critically evaluate the information presented to you, and to make decisions based on facts, logic, and your own experience. It requires questioning assumptions, challenging biases, and being open-minded, but also grounded in your core values. Discernment helps you avoid manipulation or deception, empowering you to find clarity in situations that might otherwise seem murky. The power of discernment also involves the ability to maintain emotional balance. In difficult situations, it's easy to be swayed by strong emotions such as fear, anger, or frustration. However, discernment enables you to detach from those emotions and approach the situation with a calm and clear mind. It allows you to make rational decisions rather than emotional ones, which can often lead to regrettable outcomes. With discernment, you can navigate challenges with a sense of composure and control, rather than reacting impulsively to the situation at hand. Another critical element of discernment is its role in personal growth. The more you develop your ability to discern, the more you understand yourself, your values, and your desires. It leads to greater self-awareness and empowers you to make choices that align with your true self. As you practice discernment in your life, you learn to trust yourself more and develop a deeper understanding of your purpose. This leads to more conscious and intentional living, where your decisions are not based on external influences or fleeting desires, but on your authentic truth. Ultimately, the power of discernment is a transformative tool that enhances every aspect of your life. It provides clarity in decision-making, helps you build meaningful relationships, strengthens your boundaries, and guides you toward your true purpose. In a world that can often feel overwhelming and uncertain, discernment serves as a compass that leads you toward wisdom, understanding, and alignment with your highest self. It is a skill that can be cultivated over time, and one that, when honed, will serve you in every aspect of life, ensuring that you are always moving in the direction of your greatest good. In conclusion, the power of discernment is one of the most valuable and transformative tools you can cultivate in your life. It is the ability to see beyond the surface, to trust your inner wisdom, and to make decisions that align with your highest purpose. Discernment empowers you to navigate life's complexities with clarity, resilience, and confidence. It helps you build stronger relationships, set healthy boundaries, make wise decisions, and stay true to yourself in a world full of distractions and influences. As you develop this skill, you gain a deeper understanding of who you are, what you value, and where you're headed. Ultimately, discernment is not just about making the right choices, it's about living a life of intention, purpose, and authenticity. By embracing discernment, you step into your power and take control of your journey, ensuring that every step you take moves you closer to your true potential.